Good afternoon, Abbotsford residents. I'm Mr. Pelican. I'm running for your mayor of Abbotsford. And we're going to forensic audit the city books, but we're going to bring the RCMP in on the organized crime that laid in Abbotsford. This problem that was in Abbotsford, the threats on my life, the attempted murder, the Abbotsford Task Force in front of my house, Vicky Hopes blocking me, the Chamber of Commerce not allowing me to bake, Grape Toads trying to bribe me, Andy Sadu and Dave Sadu, I showed you. And I showed you what took place at the sports center with Sandy Blue that's on the police board, said I grabbed her up the dress to scandal me, and Barty and Rianne Gasper called it out. It was for the job sites of Abbotsford. It wasn't for bettering the city, or you're changing that Ross was a poor down hub gas station boy that didn't know how to manage nothing, and all of a sudden he was going to be ahead of the city. Henry loaded him and ran him from the back doors. It was Darren Brown that showed that. But this was a collaborating team that sat on the top of Abbotsford, drinking from the trough like pigs, until Darren Brown showed that. I want to say Abbotsford, myself and Abbotsford residents, a lot of people from in and out of Abbotsford and politicians that came in like John Rustad, we owe the mission RCMP, a very small police force, a tremendous thanks for making us stay with it, knowing we would find it faster because we had all the ties into the cities and offices, and sympathy would start to pour out from the general community on Henry's attempted murder on my life. The Abbotsford Police top investigators covering it, Mike Surf leading. It all exposes itself and you can see it. And why these losers in these black cop cars with little flashers figured that they were above everything, but they were running organized crime. The whole company has to be gone. I made it clear that I'm a very, very, very nice guy, and when I told the Abbotsford Police to go to hell, I want them to go to hell there safely. But I made it clear that there's some good men in the Abbotsford Police, and they helped along the way. I showed you Dix and Kern, tremendous man, but they stood by this shit. And then they looked up and the guys upstairs were doing it. The filthy, useless slobs, investigators and pigs were doing it. They attacked the general community. They attacked families. They attacked people that stood up and said, I can make a difference in my town, in my neighborhood, and I'm going to call stuff out. Like that's why we helped Rianne get elected over that. And they decided, no, we don't want them. So we're going to attack them because we have jobs. Insider trading's insider trading. And when I got a filthy police chief that's sitting on Alex Mitchell's lap and hanging with Brad Viss, and he knows people in the Mackenzie Bog got deadly sick, and he knows Paul Walker, which is Paul Wanker, his police guy, is living right next to it. And they know Magna didn't increase fines or go after it and call Environmental Canada or nothing. You know Ross is hauling his gas station down to the Mission to dispose of it illegally. You know all the rocks on Gladys Avenue to get rid of the homeless at taxpayers' dollars by Ross Siemens to help Ron Funka diverse for sales offices. You know embezzling the money out for an Abbotsford police building at 80 million when Darren Brown said retrofit it. This is why Ross couldn't manage it, because we needed out in the construction. And then Ross took another 12 million or 13 million for the building across Torona. Now he's in paving all the roads. Let me tell you why you pave the roads when it's time to end of the election, Ross. You're worried the next guy could get in, so you phone construction companies, I'll give you the job, what do I get out the back door? And this is why I talked to the paving companies that were paving Bell Road, and they said, well, we don't even know why we're paving it, the roads. But we got the farmers' roads out in Wills Line Road and that from the flats, none of it's getting paved. We're only going to pave around 99% parts that are already still good, and we're going to pave it. So we're going to go in and forensic audit that paving company. City informers told me, oh, you'll be shocked, and how they're getting this. And I knew that when I talked to the paving company on Bell Road. They said, we don't even know why we're paving it. Sometimes we don't even ask the questions, and we're not allowed to tell them that this doesn't need it. They're just told to pave. In return, the city will cut you a silently check. We got Rob Isaac going out and doing flood mitigation today, trying to speak to stuff. And hey, we need a mayor that can come in, and we need council that can come in, that can hold each other accountable, and they're not friends up on Bell Road, up on Downs on Henry's house. And we need MLAs and MPs that can attack the mayor when he attacked his constituents and voters, and it wasn't for jobs. Henry knew if he could control the whole Abbotsford police, he could set up trillions of dollars in these job sites. And he was talking about bringing the West Coast in because he formerly used to own a train company that built it. And then he put his son on economic development officer. That was so he could do it all and no information could get out. Then he pointed his brother over on the police board and they had a good gig. But Henry's screw up of getting in the city and leaving the city and trying to end my life caused it all to open. But what's the bigger screw up? This conniving mayor they call Ross Siemens, and you can see him, no mayors take pictures. It's establishment that tries to prop him up. Brad Viss's phone to go take a picture, Brad, Ross is hurting. Alex Mitchell tries to do everything she can from the dirty Chamber of Commerce, which got caught. Vicky Hopes tries to do her part, and Dave Saduz tries to his. You don't see him with other mayors. You don't see Ross being respected at any level. And then you see the problem over on Dave Saduz's property on Tracy Road where I shot videos, and you saw the Abbotsford police. So as soon as I pull that podcast with my podcast people, and I show you them development sites, there's investigators of the Abbotsford police. Oh, look at me. They're driving around my town, and I showed you, from picking up prostitutes, which the mayor is their boss, from threatening somebody, the mayor is their boss, from smashing my camera, the mayor is their boss, because it hell looks like, then smashing my phone, my son bought me, and then ringing me up at Ledgeview and ordering me to pull over. He's an undercover cop, giving me speed tickets. So it sure looks like, don't you, if you were in my shoes, wouldn't you sure look like this? This man, Ross Siemens, that his wife doesn't even say he's a good guy, looks like he's ordering it done against his competition. And it looks like he's ordering it because I told you before, and I'll tell you again, I sure in the heck didn't go out and sleep with their wives knowing that they went and picked up prostitutes at Ledgeview, at A.P.D's. And there might be transmitted diseases in their families because they haven't been quarantined or checked. And it sure looks like Ross is ordering it because why? Ross is the top of the police board. And when you're not saying, you know, look at Mr. Pelican's an asshole, he recognized I couldn't be that big of an asshole because Jake Siemens, Ross's dad, sat with me and bought me lunch. And really nice guy, asked me not to podcast in front of his daughter-in-law and his grandchildren for what his son did. And told me his son was in trouble when he was 30. That would be easy for Henry to buy his soul now and he would sell it. And it sure looks like he's doing it all. It sure looks like every time I turn around and I'm on a development site and I'm podcasting, there's the Abbotsford police to smash my camera. And he's probably saying like this, I can't have him podcast out Dave Saduz's piece of property on Tracy Road. Me and Dave were partners in Abbotsford first. Dave helped me get elected. His dad pulled all Mr. Pelican's stuff off at the UFB, at the debate. So I need you to go out there, buddy. Buddy, go please, buddy. Buddy, please. And the Abbotsford police will go, yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh look at me, I'll take the company uniform and the vehicles. We got to come in with a heavy hand. And this is why I argued from day one that when we come in, we bring the RCMP in. We don't come in with light hands. We come in with very heavy hands. Because city informers are telling me Rob Isaac's up to his neck on these paving crews. Rob Isaac's up to his neck on Dave Saduz's property, and so is the city lawyer and manager, knowing that was council. And he said the lawyer, the city informer said the lawyer never excused her, the council never excused herself. Well, they saw Henry do it with his son, so they went and did it. But this is where the threats begin. And this is why this cartel, this train tycoon, couldn't go into Chilliwack and set up or mission. Why? Because the RCMP are there. Somebody walks in with that kind of magnitude of that much evidence that his son is the proving officer, and now his son went up and set up business. And I got my Abbotsford boys running around beating politicians. I got my Abbotsford boys not solving crime. I got my Abbotsford boys running wild, picking up prostitutes. I got my Abbotsford boys saying to the general public, we shouldn't be questioned. We're law enforcement. We'll beat ya. And they're running around beating up African Americans in Yale. There's no apologies, nothing. Oh, you know who we are? You know who we are? Look at the uniform. We know who you are. That time is over. That time of sympathy in this town and everything. And when I heard from the community how much shit and garbage, these filthy, conniving, scamming men were doing, I asked him to take me around so I could make the whole world aware of what Olenoff did. Straight to your face. Dropped the lawsuit. In the videos, Henry had all counsel up in his house passing decisions, or I, quote, will personally fucking bury you, Mr. Pelican, with witnesses there. This is how brave this thing got. Oh, I got a gun. Oh, you want to see my badge? Look at me. And then the upper management ran and hid. And then the upper management went and figured, well, we'll take a picture beside Brad Viss. Ladies and gentlemen, you could see with your own eyes, and I made it clear, Bruce Bamman was your former mayor. And Bruce never stood to argue for the flood victims' money because it would have went into their hands for their friends and their contractors and wouldn't went for tendering. And this is what was happening in Abbotsford. And Bruce Bamman never advocates or took a picture with the Abbotsford police saying it's a great building, crime or nothing. He's never advocated because he knew that this was all going to go into Henry and Henry's friend. Bruce Bamman knew because he was the man that said a democracy and a democratic process is the way to go. And when he saw Sandy Blue and Erwin Brown pointed to that police garbage, and when he saw the debate stop, when he saw Dave Sadu block me, when he saw Vicky Hopes, he knew. Henry was worried that I knew all the ropes from big developers, which I told you, Aquilini, Mike Dakota, Stuart Olson, Ani, and I told you Mike taught me so much on the North Shore Pier when I built it with him, that I knew this, and I could walk in and see it. But these men went in and said, we'll call ourselves politicians. And the Abbotsford men went in and we'll call ourselves police officers. I'm a police officer. Law enforcement everywhere has to tremendously be impressed and thankful that what the mission RCMP had done for residents, had done to bring it to the light, had done to make me strong to stand on the world YouTube and show. And it wasn't Mr. Pelican that fled town. It wasn't Mr. Pelican, thanks to the RCMP saying, staying with it. Bob Rich packed his shit and I'm out of here. And he never even came back as an advisor or to help the Abbotsford police. That there was a sign of a red flag. Then Mike Sir, all of a sudden, he packed his shit and he fled and he's still tumbling. Oh, don't come after Mikey for the organized criminal ring. Please, Mikey, I'll take you all down if you come after Mikey. And then not a one officer said he was a tremendous good guy. And yet John Rustad sitting in my house, and none of his guys stood up and said, oh, Mikey's just good shit here in Abbotsford. I work with Mike, sir. He's top shit. Not a one could stand up and help him because they knew that he did do it. And that there already gave it away. Then they never brought Mikey back to take a picture with the building and everything. This elite little ring went in and did it. And when you got human beings that will cover for each other, no matter what, in the company, they got to be gone. And this is why I took the professionalists and showed you what the WCB investigators do on a job site. They don't care I'm the project manager. They don't care that Mike Dakota's the owner. They don't care you're a Donald Trump. They don't care. Investigations take reports. Criminal reports goes to the victim. We go in court and everything's settled that way. And they keep that professionalism. Something the Abbotsford men couldn't do. Now they're running around, hiding in corners, and they're so aggressive. When they get a call, they just speed. They don't think of nothing. We need a police force that will go after organized crime internally because this is how it happens. And I can stand here and tell you through everything that I've been through in residence and quite a few dignitaries have witnessed it, the 99% of this stuff in Abbotsford is them. Blocking people, shielding people, and people and taking out. So I would say this, at the end of the day and the beginning of the day, if you were in my shoes and you didn't have all the lucky bounces you did have of the RCMP, John Rustad, Bill Vanderzam, dignitaries, and all the people that came in to help you. And these lucky bounces. And then all the information walking out of offices like I had on Mike DeYoung's secretary, Simon's secretary, and walking right out. And same on Daryl, and the tremendous help of Daryl Plunkett, the Speaker of the House, getting it before and saying you need a lawyer. Henry and these shithole guys did it. And you can see Daryl Plunkett never stood beside any of them. All them lucky bounces. What would have been the outcome of it? What would be the outcome of it? what would be? I would have a police department lying out of its ass, pardon my language. I'd have a mayor lying through his teeth, and I have victims suffering. And people not knowing what happened to their dad or to their children or nothing, because we wanted to promote the Abbotsford police, the junk, the shit, this garbage, this trash, and embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars and figured no one would take the police on because we're a big entity, we're tied to political positions, the federal government needs us and the provincial government. This is why George Ferguson made it the private police so it was accountable in the city at the auditorium. Something Henry took away. Because why Henry took it away, Darren Brown showed it was being live streamed, open mic and oppositions, and people that Henry gave trouble would see it and call it out. He figured he had it all in the box. He had everybody's mouth shut and then run roughshod with his goons, his filthy goons. And now I could see him, oh, Colin Watts, please, Colin, I got 20 years in here. I'm a drug officer. How much have you stole? That means your houses got to be tossed, your phone's records got to be tossed, every asset you got to be tossed. That's why you don't go down this route. You go out when there's a magnitude of witnesses, you charge and you let the courts and jury decide, but they couldn't do it. Henry rewarded them all perks and that. So thanks to the RCMP, many politicians, I knew from day one when we were going to go down this road, you got to go after that, the city. Now it takes this. It takes Vicky Hopes to write her stories and promote Amric Moran, and he's rolled over. He's coming from the police board, and Amric probably told, in my opinion, Colin Watts, if I get in, Colin, tell everybody to vote. I can be on council and say no reviews. And then you'll have the Capriccio newspaper, what's left of that, do its part. You'll have Alex Mitchell now. It's embedded. You can see him hauling Amric around, and everybody's complaining. Alex Mitchell is taking Amric Moran around everywhere because he's running for council, but none of the other council, because that's the one they need loaded, which is unfair. So I want to make that clear. I want to make it clear to Suki Dami, Abbotsford needs you, the South Asians need you, put your name forward and run for council. I may want to make it clear to Capri Rai, an NDP person, a very good guy, put your name forward, run, and hold accountability. And I want to make it clear to Bardi Sandhu, put your name forward and run for city council, and you got to come in here. There's a lot of work we need to do, a lot, but we can get 99% of that done by bringing the RCMP in. We'll go after Ron Funk and we'll go after his equity, and it's got to come back to the city, and we know we have to go after this. And I'm encouraging other people of Abbotsford residents, put your name forward. This is your city, and you got to wipe out that establishment. You wipe out that establishment, everything's going to change. Police payroll is going to go down from 1,700 back down to 1,100. We're going to get the RCMP in here. They got a bigger base. They got evidence rooms. They got everything. And we're going to contract them, and we're going to get rid of this, because our paycheck for the Abbotsford Police within a year is going to be $800 million. And we're going to wipe this stuff all out. Then we're going to bring economic drivers in, and we're going to chase Nicole Reid out of Abbotsford, and we're going to chase her back into Chilliwack as the city council. And we're going to lower your taxes. And we're going to not allow this condo market to be pushing down our throat and changing zoning when we don't got the proper infrastructures, the sewer and water and everything else. And we're going to go in there, and we're going to go after our contractors like the paving companies, and we're going to go after all these jobs, because this is my experience that didn't go to tendering. And anybody that got a job rewarded right to them by Ross Siemens and council, oh, I wouldn't want to be you. I wouldn't want to be you, because that's a slam dunk case that it didn't go to tendering, and you awarded that for pressure and for treatment and kickbacks. And that's what we're going to do. But the first thing is Abbotsford residents, we need to send them their ass and send them packing. So I want to ask you again, Ross, are you ordering all these vicious acts? Because you sure haven't podcasted out. You know you're the responsibility of the Abbotsford Police. You're the chair of the board. And yet every time I podcast, you run to your gas station, your own staff, and everybody says, and run and hide. I'm live. Abbotsford, British Columbia, Abbotsford City.